Hi, my name is Josh Evilsizor, and today I'm going to show you how to use Bing Chat and Copilot. Are you watching the right video? Well, if you're tired of feeling old or left out, and/or you're simply ready to learn how to best use Bing Chat or Copilot, Microsoft's generative AI chatbot, then yes. Questions answered in today's video. What is it? How do you use it? And why should you use it? Some quick caveats and redirects before we get started. This is video number 4 in our Big 4 AI Chatbot Explainer series. Check out the first 3 videos linked below if you haven't seen them already. We're skipping the background info covered in some of those videos and diving right into Copilot and Bing Chat. All right, Copilot and Bing, what are they? First, and for most intents and purposes, Bing Chat and the web-based Copilot, exact same. So to avoid confusion, I'll only refer to Bing Chat throughout. I will show you what I mean by the same though. So here is Bing. It is your AI-powered Copilot for the web. And then if we jump into Copilot, it is your everyday AI companion with Bing. So there you go. They're the same, but they're not the same. But they're the same. So we're going to use Bing for this video. All right. Bing Chat is Microsoft's generative AI chatbot that lives on the internet. It generates human-like answers to your human questions, aka prompts. And it's capable of generating an answer to any question. This is because it has essentially learned the internet. Imagine being able to ask the internet any question and always get the most relevant response. This is what Bing Chat does. It's a chatbot and it's also a genius, able to draw from its vast storage of knowledge, i.e. the internet, to answer anything you ask it, to serve as your own personal genius, to educate you, collaborate with you, and create for you. All right, so I've explained what it is. Next, I'm going to explain how does it work and how it works to educate you, collaborate with you, and create for you. We're going to dive right into the demo. If I can get the right tab to work. All right, here it is. But we're going to use this one, and I'll explain what I did in a minute. So, in the simplest terms, you ask it a question or provide a prompt, and it provides an answer or a response. If nothing else, Bing Chat, and I'm just going to start calling it Bing, by the way, Bing is your faster, more efficient Google, right to the point, giving you the answer that you are looking for. And as you can see here, it has answered our question about what it is. What we want to talk about next, though, is how Bing can be your own personal tutor, your own personal genius to teach you anything. And this, of course, again, because it can answer any questions because, again, it knows the internet. So this answer that it's giving us here, there's some GPT-4 going on, and I'll pause on that just for a second. OpenAI owns ChatGPT. The free version I explained in the other video, 3.5, ChatGPT 3.5, is the free version of ChatGPT. There is a paid version, which is GPT-4 of ChatGPT. However, OpenAI and Microsoft are collaborating, and so Microsoft uses GPT-4, which is the paid version of ChatGPT, to power Bing. We're going to leave it at that. Bottom line, this answer that's been provided to us is a little bit technical, and we're trying to learn. And we would like something that's a little bit more on our level, a little bit personalized, and it's more of a personal tutorial for us. So how do we do that? Well, asking it some better questions can help it be that better personal tutor for us. So what we're going to do, again, because this answer it's provided is just a little bit above our head. So, hey, can you dumb this down for me as I learn this new thing? I need this, just bring it down a notch. So for it to help educate us, we're going to ask this question here, but I'm going to pause. So there's a creative mode and there's a precise mode. Creative mode and we're in precise mode right now, and I'll talk I'll talk more about that in a little bit. But what we're going to do is we're going to have it explain to me as if I was 12 this answer using metaphor or analogy and keeping it short. So we're going to go ahead and give it this updated prompt. I want to pause and say, we're not using a search engine. We are talking with a chatbot. So I'm able to send it this follow-on question, right? It's a prompt, but we're going to just keep talking with it as if it's, a human. We don't have to rewrite this question with the original question. We're just sending a follow-up. So here it goes. And we're looking for Bing to kind of dumb this down a little bit, give us some analogy, make this easier for us to understand so that we can be better educated. Imagine Bing Chat as a super smart friend who loves to read and learn. It's like having a friend who has read all the books in the world and can remember anything. So it's kind of like it's the internet, right? And we're talking with the internet. Great analogy, easy to understand, and now we can take it to the next level. Okay, give me some more information by providing a different prompt. So this is just one way, a way for Bing to help educate us. All right, so what's another great example here? So I found this recently, and it's really good. It's a good prompt. So it reads, I'm a beginner, and I want to learn how to, and then insert skill. So for this example, we're going to ask it about time management. So I want to learn how to manage my time, and then we're asking it to create a detailed time frame. So in this case, we got plenty of time. So a 90-day reading and training plan that can teach me this skill, time management. Here we go. While it's doing this, I'm going to explain creative and precise. Okay, and when I jump back and forth between windows, you'll see it stop talking for a second. Creative, more balanced, and more precise. These are the different modes you can bounce between depending on what you're looking for. And so if you're trying to be educated, more creative might be the way to go, but if you're looking for fact-based information, more precise is probably going to be the way to go. We're going to show a number of examples that kind of break this down for you, but more creative, if the chatbot's going to hallucinate, which they do, and I've explained that in my first overview video, if it's going to hallucinate, it's going to happen in more creative mode. So if we're looking for fact-based answers, more precise is where we want to be. In any event, here we are. Getting things done. Every time I've run this, it's always in the top, 3 or 4. David Allen, way to go. So we're getting some good information on here. Good information here on time management and a plan to help educate ourselves on how we can be better managers of our time. Hopefully you can see here anything you want to learn about, just insert that prompt and insert the thing you want to learn about, and now you're down the right path to success for however you want to educate yourself on whatever you want to educate yourself on. Your own personal genius tutor. It's incredible. Okay, so what's our next example? We are done with the education piece. We're going to move into how Bing can help you, or how it can be your own personal collaborator to help you learn not to read, but to read for you, to write for you, and to analyze for you. So in both modes, I'm going to show you how Bing's connection to the internet can be very helpful. And I say that because ChatGPT and Claude, neither of them are still connected to the internet. I mean, they are, because you can talk to them on the internet, but they're not drawing from the internet like Bing and Bard both do. So I'm asking it, please summarize James Clear's marginal gains article. And this is a blog, of course, on the internet, and I'm not providing a link to it, though I could, just to show you how powerful. And you got to be careful. If you scroll too far, you end up at the old Bing, which you don't want to be there. It sucks. So we're going to try and scroll back up. Sometimes it's wonky, and here we are. It's still summarizing our article. And we're in precise mode, so we're getting a very fact-based summary of this article. When we jump into the more creative mode, what you're going to find, if you are looking for insights, and again, you'll get some hallucinations, but if you're looking for insights, creative might be the way to go. It's going to give you, Not always new stuff, and again, it could hallucinate, but you're going to get more information often, and it's, again, if you're looking for insights, this is the way to go. What's the takeaway here is experimentation and familiarization. Bouncing back between these two modes, as you can see, it's much longer. Bouncing back in between these two modes, you learn how the AI chatbot is going to respond or might respond. And so we have a number of chatbots to pick from, and now with Bing, we have a number of modes to pick from. So by using it and familiarizing yourself, you kind of learn how it may respond, and you learn how to use this tool in the best way that you need to use it for the output or the results that you're looking for. So here you can see it went out and found James Clear's article and gave us a tremendous summary. Probably threw in some stuff there that maybe wasn't in the article but is truthful, which it tends to do. And so there you go. And here's the precise version. What we're going to do now, and I'm in the precise mode because I want a fact-based answer. I'm going to give it a follow-up question, which is, how many Tour de France victories did David Brailsford's Olympic or British cycling team win? And the answer should be 5. Total of 5 Tour de France victories. Good job, Bing. You got it right. And yeah, so there you go. And what's great, again, connected to the internet, Bing gives you sources that you can click on and follow up. Why the James Clear article is number 3, I'm not sure, but in any event, everything's working, and this is how its connection to the internet can help educate you and also work with you to summarize and read things for you. All right, what is our next example? I think we're moving out of the collaborate phase here. Oh yes, one more thing. So you need a collaboration partner that is also a genius, and you're not the best writer. And let's say, hypothetically speaking, you're going to create a video that explains how Bing works. And you come up with your own little paragraph explaining how Bing works. And you're looking for Bing to give you feedback on how good that paragraph is. And so at this point, the screen's frozen, so we'll try this one. And ask it the same question. Please provide feedback, and we're in creative mode right now. Please provide feedback on this paragraph. And we'll go ahead and see what kind of feedback it gives us. What you couldn't see right away, you may not have seen, is there's a lot of misspelled and... Okay, so what happened over here? We'll get back over there. Conversation has reached its limit. I didn't notice that. And it'll ask you to use the broom to sweep away the conversation. Well, there's no... Like, this thing's been gone for months. And so, hey, Microsoft, go fix that. In any event, click New Topic, and we're back. We've refreshed. They won't let it talk for too long because it can go off the rails, so you got to restart, and that's what's happening here. All right, so I was kind of curious why it wasn't pasting in there. So we're going to ask it that same question. I've got the same poorly spelled paragraph. You can see here lots of books, tons of stuff, just not great English or grammar. And we're going to ask it for feedback on this article before we print this or start using it for this hypothetical video that maybe we were shooting on Bing. And just like I explained before, Precise can kind of jump right into it and give you the pithier response. And Creative is going to give you often a longer response. The nuances to both of these feedbacks, I'm not going to sit here and read both of these, but as you can see, the results or the responses, both not very different, but they're different. And so learning, again, familiarization and experimentation with all the AI chatbots in general, but in particular different modes in Bing, very helpful for you. So as you tend to use it as a tool in the future, or when you come back to use it, you know how it's going to serve you. You can see here, creative mode continues to go on and on. So there you go. There's feedback on the article. Often it'll rewrite it for you. Here's a revised version. So the precise mode just went ahead and rewrote it for us and then gave us feedback on what we misspelled. That would be the most helpful for me in this instance. But if you're looking for a more deep dive on how you write and feedback in that regard, then the other one is the way to go. All right, experimentation, familiarization. What do we want to ask it next in collaborate mode? All right, so please go ahead and translate this to Japanese. And you're going to find that it thinks that it cannot do that. And I'm guessing because we're in creative mode. And in creative mode, it can make stuff up. And so if you're looking to translate something, you want it to be precise, right? So again, familiarity here is key. So we're going to go ahead and ask it to, in precise mode, translate to Japanese. And it's going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to show you this one over here. Can't do it. And I scrolled too many times, and it went into Bing Chat. So we'll try and scroll up to get us back to, there we go. There's our Japanese. Super helpful, super genius collaborative partner. All right. So we've talked about how Bing can help educate us, right? It is this genius tutor, and how Bing can collaborate with us. It is our own personal genius collaborative partner. Helps us read, write, analyze, even translate. The last thing we're talking about is how Bing can be our genius assistant, ready to create anything. And so we're going to go into our last examples here. Please list the top 10 uses for Bing Chat. And so why am I going to ask it to do this? Let's say, hypothetically, I wanted to create a video that explains to people how Bing Chat works. And my mind is just empty. I just need some ideas to start with. You know, we know creative hallucinates, so that's not a big deal. We need some fodder. And so here we go. We're going to get the top 10 uses for Bing Chat. And some of these are going to be crap, and some of them are going to be good. Let's pretend, and so very helpful. It's got us off to the races with some great examples of how we could use Bing Chat. We're going to ask it a follow-up once it's done generating, because we got to let it finish. Let's say the first 5 results were great, and we loved them. Now, hypothetically speaking, to explain these examples, or to explain these uses, we need some examples. So we're going to ask it, please provide examples for the first 5 results. And it's going to give them to us. And it's been responding pretty quickly. Of the chatbots that I've interacted with, Bing can sometimes be the slower of them. And wow, it's giving us coding and a coding example. And it seems to have every time it's different. This is going to keep going, so I'm going to bring up our next example. But as you can see here, it's given us hopefully some great examples. Sometimes the creative version, as I've explained, can go off the rails. So pivoting over to the more precise mode might be the better next step. You could take the results, the top 10 uses of Bing, copy that, and it's very easy to do so. So we could come up here, and we could grab these top 10 uses. We could copy it and jump over into precise, give it this information, and then we could ask it, please give examples for the top 5. And it's going to be more precise about its responses, as you saw where the creative version was kind of going off the rails a little bit. Again, experimentation and familiarization is what makes this tool useful. You got to kind of figure out how it works and how it works for you. All right, what is our next example? So we are in create mode. And so what I'm going to do, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and take this response that it's given us. And this should be interesting since it's given us code and some other things, is to please take what you've given us and turn it into a poem. Right. We've run out of space. Yep. And again, if you scroll too far, you end up in Bing, which is not super helpful. And so I'm trying to scroll up right now, and it sometimes can be tough to do, but we're back in here. We'll click new topic. We're just going to jump into this version over here, and please turn this into a poem. I can't spell when I'm typing, which is why I use the clipboard. And so it's going to turn this Japanese, I scrolled too much again, Japanese text into a poem. There you go. I mean, you're limited by your own imagination. I've come up with a few examples. Hopefully some of them have kind of like Dropped a few creative seeds or sparked some interest, but these are examples of how it can create for you. Now, our next example. Oh yes, this is a good one. So we're in precise mode. This is where we need to be. Please build a table that compares the capabilities, strengths, weaknesses, and costs of the 5 most widely used generative AI chatbots. And so this one's going to take a minute, so I want to go ahead and hit enter right away. This is, of course, useful for any number of things that if you're shopping for something, you want to know more about different things, and you want to see compare contrast. Asking for a table of a comparison, you're going to get oftentimes very helpful results. And what's neat is when it's done, we can export this to Excel. So it's going to take a minute to build all these out for us. It's always interesting to see what top 5 it gives us and where it places itself. In the last couple of results, it's been like in place 4 or 5. Now again, this is not an OML, so I shouldn't judge, but it's funny that it doesn't even show up sometimes until the end. Okay, number 2 this time around. So here's our results. We got this handy little table, and of course, again, this could work for anything you're comparing: dishwashers, new blender, new watch, whatever. And it's a starting point. And here's the Excel option. So just go ahead and click on that, and it's going to export to Excel for us. And you'll see it open up in Microsoft OneDrive. Cool. All right. The last thing that I think we're going to do here is one of the neatest. And this is a unique skill set here. So, yep, we did the table, and now we're going to Bing uses DALL-E 3 to create images. And of the free chatbots, Bing is the only one that can create images for free of the ones that I've shown in the overview video. So we're talking about Bing, ChatGPT, Bard, and Claude. There are, of course, other ones out there. But again, of those 4, Google can create images, but that's through its search generative experiment. I have a video on that, but it's not Bard. So of the 4 that I've compared, Bing is the only one that creates images for you for free. And so what I've asked it to do here, and sometimes it can take a little bit of time, I've asked it to please create 3 images, one of a genius educator, another of a collaborative robot, and one of a genius assistant. And I asked it no need to share any facts about these with me, because during the experiment mode, it kept trying to share information, which I was just not interested in. We're here for the pictures. And of course, I've asked it for 3 different pictures, and each result is going to have 4 different options. So I probably could have asked it for just 1 picture, and this would have been a little bit quicker. But this didn't take too long. So here is our genius educator. Here's our genius or our robot collaborator, and our genius assistant that can create anything for us, highlighting the things that we just talked about with Bing. Now I'm going to jump back over into, if I can use the right shortcut, where we left off, and Bing Chat. After all this, why would you use it? Well, anytime you need to educate, collaborate, or create. When you need an immediate answer from your genius tutor. Different images created on a different day. When you need feedback or ideas from your genius collaboration partner. This one came out really well. When you need something created by your genius assistant. This one took some additional prompting to come up with as well. Again, ask better questions, get better pictures or answers. Hey, thanks for watching. If I've inspired you to experiment, please let me know. Don't forget, linked goodness in the comments or in the video description down below. If you like this, please subscribe or share it with somebody else that would enjoy this video or this information. As always, if you leave questions, I will leave answers. Now go and be productive.